Quote, "There is no greater evil than the company of the wicked." Meaning of the quote. This quote delivers a powerful caution. More than external threats, more than misfortune, it is the company we keep that can quietly and profoundly affect our moral integrity, peace of mind, and very direction in life. The term wicked here refers not just to people who commit major crimes or overt acts of cruelty, but also to those who consistently exhibit selfishness, manipulation, dishonesty, envy, or moral indifference. The company we keep acts as a mirror, a mold, and a magnet. It reflects our values back to us, shapes our habits, and pulls us, consciously or unconsciously, into a shared mental and emotional atmosphere. When surrounded by people who do not value truth, kindness, or inner growth, even a sincere person may begin to justify wrongs, dull their conscience, or compromise slowly, one choice at a time. This erosion is subtle but dangerous, and often, by the time we recognize the change in ourselves, much damage has been done. Thus, this quote serves as a gentle but urgent reminder. If you wish to preserve your light, be mindful of the shadows you walk beside. Spiritual perspective. Across all spiritual paths and traditions, the idea of Sangha, or spiritual company, has always been held sacred. Why? Because the heart is like a sponge. It absorbs what it is surrounded by. If it is near love, it softens. Near wisdom, it deepens. But if surrounded by negativity, it begins to harden or break. From a spiritual point of view, vibration matters. Every person carries an energetic field shaped by their thoughts, intentions, and inner alignment. To sit in the company of the wicked is to enter an atmosphere that subtly disturbs our inner clarity. The soul is sensitive. Just as a delicate flower withers in polluted air, the human spirit dims in an atmosphere of dishonesty, arrogance, or cruelty. Influence is invisible but powerful. Even if one does not participate in harmful acts, merely tolerating or justifying them weakens one's own spiritual discipline and discernment. To walk with those who do not value truth is to risk forgetting its taste. To listen daily to those who mock kindness is to begin doubting its power. In the spiritual journey, protecting one's inner space is essential. The heart is a sacred place, and like all sacred things, it must be guarded. Scientific perspective. Modern psychology and neuroscience offer robust support for this wisdom. Let's look at how science views the impact of negative social influence. A. Neuroplasticity and conditioning. Our brains are not fixed. They change and rewire based on repeated exposure. Regular interaction with unethical or negative individuals can literally rewire how we think, react, and make decisions, leading to reduced empathy, moral detachment, or increased aggression. B. Social influence and groupthink. People naturally align with the behavior and beliefs of those around them, especially when they seek belonging. Being part of a group that justifies unethical actions can cause individuals to suspend their judgment and adopt destructive norms. C. Mirror neurons and emotional contagion. The human brain is wired to mimic the emotional and behavioral patterns of others, a function of mirror neurons. Prolonged exposure to negative, dishonest, or emotionally manipulative people can train the brain to normalize dysfunction, making it harder to recognize or escape from it. D. Moral disengagement. Psychologist Albert Bandura introduced the concept of moral disengagement, where people begin to rationalize unethical behavior when they see others doing the same, especially if the group seems to reward or excuse it. Science confirms our moral compass is not immune to influence. It is shaped, shifted, or sharpened by the company we keep. Let's bring this wisdom to life through a short story. The Ink and the Cloth. There was once a wise tailor named Araf who lived in a peaceful town. Known for his exquisite white cloth, people would travel for miles to buy it. One day a merchant visited him with a tempting offer. "Join my workshop. I'll pay you twice as much. You won't have to work so hard." Curious, Arav agreed. But soon he noticed something strange. In this workshop, workers laughed at cutting corners. They used cheap dyes and pretended it was silk. They mocked customers behind their backs and boasted about their tricks. Arav didn't join in, but he didn't speak up either. Weeks passed. One day, while preparing his own white cloth, a bottle of black ink, carelessly left open nearby, was knocked over. A single drop stained the edge. He tried to scrub it out, but the mark remained. His teacher later told him, "Even if you don't touch the ink, its presence can still stain you." Arav returned to his quiet shop, realizing, it is not enough to avoid wrongdoing. We must avoid the company that makes it feel normal. How it applies to our everyday life. This quote is not just a philosophical statement. It's a compass for daily living. Let's look at some real-world applications. A. Friendships and social circles. Ask yourself, do the people I spend time with uplift me or diminish me? Do they encourage growth, truth and peace, or gossip, drama and negativity? Long-term exposure to toxic people can normalize dysfunction. Choose friends whose values match your direction, not just your history. B. Workplace culture. A job that demands you compromise ethics or integrity, even slightly and repeatedly, can corrode your inner peace over time. Be wary of environments where dishonesty is rewarded and empathy is seen as weakness. C. Media and digital influence. The company we keep today isn't just physical, it's digital too. What content do you consume? Who do you follow? What tone fills your feed? If your online environment is saturated with outrage, vanity or cynicism, it may be quietly shaping your worldview and emotional health. D. Parenting and role modeling. Children absorb behaviors more than advice. If we allow negative influences around them, whether through adults, peers or media, we risk shaping their emotional and moral identity. Personal integrity. Often, we stay in bad company out of habit, fear or guilt. But protecting your inner peace sometimes means stepping away from people you love, but who refuse to grow or respect your path. There is no greater evil than the company of the wicked. This quote is not meant to make us fearful, but awake to the quiet, invisible ways that our environment molds our inner life. Evil does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers through a friend's joke, a colleague's suggestion, or a group's silence. And when we ignore these whispers, they become echoes inside us. So be watchful. Guard your heart like a sacred flame. Choose company that fans your light, not dims it. And remember, your peace is precious. Let it not be the price you pay for staying near those who have long abandoned theirs. Thank you for joining this exploration of wisdom. If this message resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more insights into timeless truths. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step, and every great idea begins with a strong foundation. See you in the next episode.